chose this life. And someday, it's going to get me killed. But not today.
Welcome back to Drunk Reviews. Today we're going to review a little film called Atomic Blonde. It's Atomic Blonde.
Yeah.
Right? I'm Joey B, the Salt Shaker.
Tony P, the Perez on Xbox Live. You know us.
Let's do it.
Check it out.
I've been looking forward to this movie for quite a while.
Yeah.
I am a huge fan of John Wick. Now,
movies.
John Wick had two directors.
Have we reviewed any John Wick movies?
No, but we should. What the
You know what?
wrong with us?
That's coming soon.
That is coming soon.
That's coming soon. Go
Totally.
ahead. Continue.
One of the two directors of John Wick made Atomic Blonde. And there's even some little loose talk that it may exist in the same universe as John Wick. Which to me, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I'm totally open to a John Wick extended universe.
Anything other than Marvel, bro.
Right. So we got to see it today together,
God.
hand in hand. And John Wick was,
A
Atomic
superior
Blonde.
movie. Okay.
Yeah.
John Wick was a superior movie. Atomic Blonde was something I didn't expect, but not in a good way.
No, me neither.
You get me? So they have a list of people who are secret agents around the world, I assume. And someone grabs it. He's trying to send it to the highest bidder, but you don't know who it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they get Atomic Blonde, basically Charlize Theron character, to go and track down the list.
The list.
It's
Basically the plot of Mission Impossible.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yes. And they tell her to meet up with McAvoy, what is his name?
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy. And this dude, he's a loose cannon. He's gone rogue. He's gone feral.
They tell you that from the beginning.
That's what they say. He's gone feral. To me, that's a heads up right there.
Yeah.
To me, that's a heads up. I shouldn't really trust this dude, but Charlize Theron's character's just like best buds with him. Like, hey, like show me around town.
But this movie was a whole lot of fucking nothing for like a really long time.
Yeah.
I was antsy. I was bored. I was like, when the fuck is something
Like the
gonna
first
happen?
maybe like 40, 50 minutes of it, it's like, who has the list? I don't know.
Yep.
Cuts back to her room. She's thinking, who has the list?
Yep.
McAvoy. I don't know who has the
I
list.
don't know who has the list. Yeah.
The
And
first 40, 50 minutes
and
of
that is intercut with scenes of her being interrogated after the fact. So you know that she's going to make it out of whatever situation they're in because she's being interrogated by her bosses.
About the events that are taken, that we're watching.
And she's telling the story of what's happened. But those scenes are totally fucking irrelevant.
Yeah.
They don't serve the purpose of the story. They slow the pace of the movie down. And not only that, but like they're not entertaining. Like there's nothing redeeming about, like you would think it's an opportunity for two actors to sit on a table and like kind of banter back and forth, but that doesn't really happen.
And also, I because John Goodman comes out and he's the one who's basically interrogating Charlize Theron, and I felt that they didn't really.
There wasn't really any chemistry.
No, there wasn't, and maybe it's because like at first Charlize Theron's character is a bit off-putting by him, but I felt like even at that, like they would have some chemistry, some hatred towards one another, but I didn't get that.
Yeah. As far as the story of the movie goes, it's a collage of cliches from other James Bond movies, Jason Bourne movies, even John Wick. Like it takes all these elements, the best parts were hand-picked, hand-selected, and kind of mixed all together in something that's incoherent, boring, and just really like not very interesting.
And when the bad guys finally discover who has this information, it's completely obvious.
It's totally obvious.
It's completely obvious who has it, and I'm just like, come on,
and they take an hour and a half to get there.
Yes.
And really, like, that information should have been given to us 30 minutes into the movie.
As soon as she arrives in Berlin, you know who it is, and it's her going after him.
Yes.
In my opinion, that's what it should have been.
That's exactly what it should have been. The movie feels like a missed opportunity. It was technically beautiful. Like, there were scenes that looked amazing.
It was visually stunning.
It was stylish.
I liked it. Yeah, it had a lot of style.
It had a lot of songs that are in Russian because they're all Russian versions of these '80s pop hits that were like recognizable.
Now I know you didn't like the soundtrack of
no,
it.
and it's not that I don't like the music. It's that I feel like the movie. Yeah, I feel like the director was like, let's find a place to put this song. Let's find a place to put this song. The music wasn't used in a way that was unique or entertaining. As a matter of fact, the best scene of the movie, which is a long, drawn-out, single-take action fight sequence in a staircase, had no music.
That was something to marvel at, though.
Yeah, it was great.
Now, I didn't mind it. I think it's mostly because I like most of the songs that they played.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind George Michael comes out in there.
But it wasn't George Michael. It was Russian versions of those songs.
Well, no, because George Michael does come out there till the end of time, a song when she's escaping from.
It wasn't in Russian?
No, it wasn't in Russian. It was in English, and also Flock of Seagulls was in English.
There was also
that was the car chase scene.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that was a good scene.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
There's that one scene in the movie where it's kind of like I kind of think to myself like a room full of filmmakers who are like, I got this great idea for an action scene. This is what it's gonna look like. Okay, we got the action scene. Let's build a story around it.
Yeah.
Because that's what it felt like. It didn't really feel like this was a story anyone really wanted to tell. They just wanted to do a badass action sequence and have a story that could lead to that action sequence. And then there's just some scenes that are bizarre.
Yeah.
And we're going into spoiler territory, so if you haven't seen the movie and you want to see it,
watch it. It's visually stunning. To me, it's got a good soundtrack. Joey Bear doesn't really like it. And I can see where he's coming from.
Yeah.
It's visually stunning. For some reason, it reminds me of a Baz, whatever, what's his name?
Oh, yeah, the guy who did a Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, Romeo and Juliet. For some reason, it had a real Romeo and Juliet vibe. It had a real Great Gatsby vibe, in my opinion. You get me?
I mean, if you look at it like that, I can see why this movie will probably become a cult classic.
Yeah.
It probably will be a cult classic.
Well, but do you see the resemblance?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, okay.
Because, and I don't want to insult that filmmaker
Yeah.
because that guy, Baz, whatever his last name is,
Yeah.
definitely is a filmmaker with a vision, and he wants
Yeah.
to make the movie he wants to make. But like Romeo and Juliet, like I found it to be vapid and empty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
But
it had great moments. It was
Yeah.
highly stylized.
Yeah.
But the story really wasn't there.
And to me, this was the exact same thing. I
Yeah.
can see why people would be like, "Oh, I love it."
Yeah.
Because it would have, like you said, a cult following.
Right.
But me and you, like, maybe
it
not.
needs a little bit more
yeah,
substance.
It does.
It needs
because
more substance.
that one scene, that badass fucking fight scene, like it should have been that movie. It should have been that throughout the whole entire movie. This whole boring, like, because at first it starts off as a thriller suspense, like who is it? Who has the information? I need to find them, and then instantly, within one shot, it becomes a fucking badass action sequence.
Right.
And I think it should have stayed either the thriller suspense or the action.
But at the same time, they also should have built upon Atomic Blonde's character because she really just was two-dimensional full and full through. We just talked about Wonder Woman. We just talked about how that character is an icon for younger generation females to look up to and be like, this is a badass female hero in a movie. Atomic Blonde should be filling that purpose too, except that she essentially plays a man, a two-dimensional man in a bad action film, except now it's a woman. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like there's been 1,000 bad action films with bad men leads in them. Stephen Baldwin and all these other chapetas who came out in bad action films.
Most of the 1990s.
Sure. And that's what this kind of reminds me of, like a Friday night HBO production in the 1990s, and it's a bad, low-budget action flick. And like that's what this is, because it's so two-dimensional. Her character really isn't a character at all. And then there are times where they try to humanize her character. The most notably when she hooks up with the female assassin or spy.
Spy.
And that scene just came out of nowhere. Yeah. I didn't buy their relationship.
I felt that it just like they wanted to add that because like it was super sexy in my opinion.
They wanted to be provocative.
Yeah, I felt that they wanted to go there and be super sexy, provocative, like you said. But like,
they didn't back it up with a good story.
And like going back to Charlize Theron's character, like she's alone a lot of the time.
Yeah.
She cannot pull that alone scene. You
Yeah.
get me? Like she just had.
Not in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Not in that movie
yeah.
with that director.
Yeah. She couldn't pull it off. Like I just felt that she was lacking. Like she was like you said, 2-dimensional cookie cutter. We done seen this before.
Yeah. And it was just like a beautiful, technically impressive failure. You know what I mean? Like I had all these nice elements where there's these really impressive stunts and all these great sequences. And I'm sure a lot of those people worked really hard to achieve those. Talk about the staircase scene.
Oh,
that
man.
shit was impressive.
Yeah, we're like, okay, we're officially going to go into this territory. Let's talk about that staircase scene.
It was beautiful.
Man.
It was amazing. That was the best part of the movie, without a doubt, hands down. Intense,
Yes.
fucking engaging. No music.
Yeah.
But the huffing and puffing and the exhaustion of the people in this fight scene, it kind of reminded me of the fight scene in Old Boy. It kind of reminded me of the fight sequence on the staircase in Daredevil season 1.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was awesome.
Yeah.
But it came too late in the fucking movie.
Like it was. There was. Yeah.
Like it was when that scene.
It couldn't be
came-
saved.
Yeah,
it couldn't be saved.
When that
anymore.
scene came, I was exhausted. I was
Yeah.
like, man.
And like
fuck this movie.
like usually in good movies, because we saw this movie together. Like, and usually in good movies, we're just enthralled. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, that was badass. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, I'm fucking sleepy.
Yeah. I don't get this shit, man. Like, you know what the fuck's going on? No, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't understand this movie. It's just like, yeah, because it wasn't good. And I was like, man, you know what? If this movie's gonna redeem itself, they better bust out like a little 8-year-old Russian kid that's gonna be John Wick as a little boy. And she's gonna adopt him and be like, come with me.
I'll
You
teach
shall
you."
be John.
Yeah.
I will show you my ways. But like that never happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So whatever. Fuck that movie. I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either. Like.
If you were gonna buy it on Blu-ray, it's day one. They
No.
got this amazing steelbook at Best Buy.
No.
It's all spray painted and
No.
colorful neon.
No.
And
No.
it comes with the soundtrack. For
No,
the movie.
bro. No way. No, I'm not. The only way I'll get this movie is if someone gifts it to me. That's about it.
The only way that I would get this movie is if I find out there's some alternative cut because the studio bogged down the movie and there's an extra like
With
15
John Wick in
minutes-
there.
There's an extra 15 minutes of unseen footage that totally changes the game on that movie. But the movie as it is right now is a total failure.
It
man.
is.
Like, it was not good. It was
I gotta give
not-
it a 2. I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that a 1.5.
Yeah.
That was a weak film.
Nah.
But I will say, Charlize Theron, awesome performance. Physically, like as far as the emotional side of it, she sucked. But the physical side of it,
Going back to like you
Yeah.
and your whole Gal Gadot,
Yep.
whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the physicality of it.
yeah.
I gotta agree with you. Anyways, the Salt Shaker, the Perezos, hit us up, like, comment, let us know what you think of this. Let us know what you think of the movie. Whatever.
Peace.
Peace.